Rise and Shine Garage Doors is a premium garage door service company servicing the Twin Cities area of Minnesota, including outer state Minnesota and western Wisconsin from St. Cloud all the way down to Rochester, Minnesota. We pride ourselves on providing the best customer service in all garage door repairs. We take great pride in having a premium service for all of our customers. Rise of the Rooster podcast is here to help you improve your relationship that you have with the largest mechanical moving object in your home. Now here's your host, Logan Greene, with the Rise of the Rooster podcast. We are clucking good at what we do.
Hey there, welcome to the Rise of the Rooster podcast. I'm your host, Logan Greene, and today I have joining with me our Director of Operations and fellow Master Certified Technician, Kyle White. Thank you for coming in today, Kyle.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Yeah, awesome. I just wanted to kind of bring you in here and talk a little bit about some of the upgrades that we offer for to our customers and kind of dive into a little bit more of why we do this for our customers, and we have this added value that we're bringing to the table that not a lot of other companies are offering. It's kind of either all super fancy, super nice luxury parts, or it's just everything is galvanized. And there's not a lot of companies that are doing something that will really meet customers in the middle. And that's something that I think really sets Rise and Shine apart from a lot of our competitors out there. And there's a good quote that I actually said this in the last episode, but we from Seth Godin, who's an author and marketing strategist, and he helped create the TED conference that you see from TEDx, and then wrote 18 books, including Permission Marketing and Purple Cow. He said very famously, don't find customers for your products, find products for your customers. And when we talk a lot about our upgrade packages and upgrade options, I think that's something that really rings true. And I just kind of want to discuss a little bit more of why it's important to you that we offer these upgrades to our customers.
Yeah, of course. I mean, we call ourselves a premium company, so we want to offer, those premium services. Obviously, we're not forcing them upon anyone. We give them all the options, show each option's value to the customer. Like you said, we start from galvanized, but we also offer powder coated products, which will never rust, stainless steel products that will never rust, especially those items that are on the ground, where there's moisture, there's water, could be pools of water, anything getting into your garage, moisture related. We have solutions for that, so you don't have to worry about it. It's that whole sense of peace of mind is what it comes down to, and obviously maintenance free. To start would be like the stainless steel cables, those are what are attached to the springs, and then attached to the bottom of the door, and those are what are lifting the door. You get rust on those on a galvanized cable, strand by strand start to pop, and then eventually this snaps, and then we have a huge safety concern at that point where you don't want your door falling on anyone. Mm-hmm. And with the winters we get here, lots of ices and then melts, ices and melts, a lot of water builds up, and waters does not mix well with metal. You get all that corrosion. So by offering those services, we can give those customers, that extra peace of mind that something is not going to happen. And we back that with our lifetime warranty on those cables. Along with those stainless steel cables, we offer powder coated vertical tracks, because nobody wants the bottom of their track to rust out. Something can easily get caught in there, like a roller, if it does rust out. And then again, you're going to have another crooked door, possibly another safety concern among other damage, especially to the opener, which is a product that, is a big investment as well. So protecting the investment and your family safety is very important to us.
For sure. Yeah, I love how you said that. And like, this is an investment, and it's an investment into your family's safety and making sure that. I mean, I regularly talk about a door that we repaired for a kind of local celebrity, and it was really messed up because that cable had rusted out and it had fallen, and only one roller was still in the door holding it up. And thank goodness he didn't have any cars in there, because that would have made the whole situation a lot more difficult to repair. But also, thank goodness nobody was underneath it. I mean, that was a really
Right.
heavy door that was swinging down. I mean, it's kind of like a guillotine when it comes down in certain areas. And making sure that you're having good quality parts that are going in there. Now, I like to tell people, I'm like, galvanized is not bad. We just offer something that is a better, higher quality product. That's a higher quality investment. And I'm more than happy to put galvanized products on every door that I touch. But it would not be good service of me as a premium provider to not at least give you the option to have stainless steel cables that are have a higher tensile strength because of more individual strands that are never going to rust because they're resistant to that rust and corrosion, and then having that galvanized cable bottom bracket, or excuse me, that powder coated bottom bracket, that powder coated vertical track, just keeping everything looking good. It is kind of a joke, like when you look at that rust in Minnesota, they kind of come hand in hand. That's why California cars and Texas cars are such a big commodity up here, because there's no rust at all. And
Right.
I know I've done a little bit of car work myself. I mean, every time I replace the rotors on my car, I'm taking a hammer and bashing the snot out of it just to get that rotor off because it's all rusted on there. And that's something that if they came out with a stainless steel router that's never going to rust, that is still going to be able to stop my car functionally, it'd be something worthwhile investing in for my vehicle. Why would you not want to invest in that and a product like that for your garage door as well, especially living in Minnesota when we do have those issues with rust and corrosion?
Right.
I guess I probably should learn a little bit more about my car parts and see if that is something that they do offer. I'm not actually sure off the top of my head. But yeah, I'm really glad you brought up our powder coated products that we typically have in hand, but also we just recently rolled out our Never Rust Plus package. You want mind telling us a little bit more about that?
Yeah, so the Never Rust Plus package. So most of our powder coated packages are all in a black color. We do have other color options available if someone is interested, but black seems to be the most popular with that sharp appearance. So with powder coated tracks and powder coated vertical tracks and powder coated bottom brackets, we offer all the rest of the hardware to match the rest. So whether it's your hinges, your shaft, your horizontal tracks, just to have everything one color, but also powder coated. Because if you have, some customers have heavy moisture in their garage in general, it's always humid in there or whatnot, and you'll see spots of rust on some hinges or anything like that. And just to have that available for those customers who want it. And I mean, as a premium company, we want to offer every customer every option and let them decide, what they want based off whether it's their budget or whether it's budget, appearance, just it's really all up to that customer and their preference.
Absolutely. I also like to think about our high cycle springs as well. A lot of people don't think about the springs too much until they're broken, which is normal. But that's a really big hassle. I mean, those doors are heavy, and a lot of times when people try to force a door up that has a broken spring, they'll end up damaging something in the process. And
Right.
that's why. So you have a whole day where your car's stuck in your garage. You can't open your door. You're late for work now. You're late for school, and then you got to call my ugly mug pig out there a couple hours later. And so that can be a really big inconvenience. And trying to make sure we're pushing that out as much as possible is really, really good. To kind of inform people, the springs run on a cycle life. So a cycle is one up and one down. And there's a standard cycle life that you'll see from most garage door companies, including ourselves, which is 15,000 cycles. So that's typically lasts anywhere from 4 to 6 years, depending on how often you use the door. If you're using it once in the morning, once at night, could ask when you leave for work, once you come home from work, and then a couple other times throughout the day and throughout the week and the month and the year, could last closer to 6 years. If you're opening that door up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down, you're probably gonna get closer to 4 years of life out of that spring. So that can be a really big inconvenience for a customer that already spent X amount of dollars for this spring. They were already inconvenienced. I don't know how much money they lost by having to skip work that day or be late for work. We offer a product that's a high cycle spring, which is 30,000 cycles. And that's doubling that lifespan. We offer a 10-year parts and labor warranty on that. I mean, what has been a big part of the reception that we've seen from a lot of our customers when we do provide those options from springs?
Well, one thing we always like to note when we're going out to those broken spring jobs is how often are they using the door? Um, when we start talking about, quoting, I'm guessing you use this as your front door. You use this door more than your front door.
Mhm.
Kind of putting that perception out there that, yeah, I do. And well, we have options available for those people that use their garage door as their front door quite frequently. And if you don't want to have to worry about that spring breaking or keeping track of cycles or anything like that, we have that 30,000 cycle 10-year option that will back for 10 years.
Yeah,
And customers, again, it comes down to peace of mind, not having to worry about something is really what we want to provide.
absolutely. And I do want to stress again, I know we've talked about this in a couple other episodes. All of our warranties are backed up by us. We don't have a third party company going out and do it, servicing them. We back them up ourselves. We take care of it. It's all Rise and Shine Garage Doors. It's not even like a sub company. It's us. We back them up. We do all the work for those warranties. But yeah, I love whenever I can show a customer that the value of that high cycle spring. They get really excited about it. One simple way a lot of people look at it is you could spend X amount for about 5 years with this 5-year parts and labor warranty spring, and then spend it again or even more because of inflation and prices going up in another five
Mhm.
years. Those two costs are typically quite a bit more than our cost for our high cycle spring. So you could pay it once and be good for the next 10 years, or you pay it now and then in 5 years have to pay a little bit more, which is going to be more than that initial 10-year investment. So
Right.
that's just something that just simple math. I mean, it makes a lot of sense for a lot of our customers when I'm providing these options and they look at it and are like, oh, that's just simple math, bro. Let's just get it done.
Right. Right.
One of the thing we talk a lot about is just with our multiple openers that we have. I mean, of course, we have our contractor series, half horsepower motor. Most people, I think, would say that they have would notice that they have half horsepower motor in their door, and I don't necessarily always think it's an upgrade because there are some doors that really do require a stronger motor, a stronger DC motor. And the way I explain it to a lot of my customers is our vans are 10,000 pounds. I can push that 10,000 pound van on neutral ground, or excuse me, in neutral on flat ground. But the hardest part isn't keeping it going, it's getting it started. So you need to have a motor that's going to be strong enough to get those heavier doors started. Uh, but even on a standard non-insulated door, what are some of the benefits that you see of having those stronger DC motors installed into their homes?
Um, I guess it wouldn't always come down to strength, but just the durability, decibel level.
Mm-hmm.
For people who don't know what decibels are, it's how quiet it is. Versus, you have your standard half horsepower, whether it's chain drive, belt drive, but your contractor series that you see most builders put in the homes, those are a little bit louder. And I see customers that benefit a lot when we talk about you're at the customer's home and you look up at the ceiling. Is that someone's bedroom right there? Um, you know, do they hear you coming home, at night, or maybe you leave early in the morning and you wake someone up? The DC models are very quiet, very smooth operating. The nice thing is with the DC models we offer from Liftmaster is all the motors have a lifetime warranty, and so does the belt on the rail that's guiding that door up. So it's a very, very beneficial feature for most people.
For sure.
Again, as I keep talking about throughout this cast, peace of mind. Once again with those warranties.
Absolutely. No, and that's a great point to bring up. I think I've had that exact conversation. Like, hey, whose bedroom is that? Oh, it's my daughter. I'm like, okay, you probably don't like waking your daughter up by leaving the garage. Let's figure out how we can find a solution. And this is kind of brings us back to that initial quote. This is finding products that fit your customer's need. And it might even not even be a need that they thought about. But when we can bring it up, they're like, hey, do you ever notice that this is a problem? Oh yeah, actually I do. Great. If I was able to put a solution together that would make this go away, what would you say about that? And a lot of people are excited to be looking at those options and notice that we are bringing a premium service here by providing that option for them. Even in commercial settings with openers too, I think one of the bigger successes I had with the commercial board was providing a pneumatic edge for somebody that had a door that kept on going down and hitting a trash can because their employees were actually closing it and the trash can was underneath it. Well, it wasn't getting caught by the safety sensor that was at the bottom. And so having a pneumatic edge at the bottom of the door, when it came down, it would compress and then it would notice that it was hitting something and then go back up, preventing further damages. And so if we can prevent situations from happening over and over again and provide them that solution. And it was funny with this customer, we were the fourth company that was out there fixing the exact same problem, and not a single one of them offered a solution like that, like the pneumatic edge. And that was crazy to me. I mean, that's the difference between a good company and a great company. Somebody that's coming in and like, I'm sure I'd love for you to keep calling me out every time this happens. I can get a couple $100 here, a couple $100 there. But is that actually providing good service? I don't think it is. And so having that that option of preventing future issues and preventing future problems is something that definitely sets us apart by providing those upgrades and providing those options for doors, for doors and customers. Just a couple more I wanted to kind of run by real quick. Probably our highest sold and most popular upgrade would definitely be our precision bearing silent glide rollers. And we have sometimes we'll have competitions about like, hey, how many can our guys put into these doors? And a big reason we have that is a lot less about like trying to sell it, but more because we know they make a big impact on these people's doors. But do you mind telling us a little bit more about those rollers?
Yeah, absolutely. So with the precision sealed bearing rollers we offer, I mean, the first word or second word there, is sealed. Currently on your rollers, if they're not sealed, you do have to lubricate those twice a year. You do have to keep those maintained to keep them running properly. Not only are the bearings exposed with that, but with them being exposed, dirt moisture gets in over time and affects those bearings. So typically we see those lasting for maybe 3 to 5 years roughly on that style. On the style we offer to customers with the sealed bearings, 100% maintenance free. The lubrication's inside, sealed off. They're good for 100,000 cycles. I mean, and we back that with a lifetime warranty. The way those glide are like you see someone rollerblading down the road. You can't even hear them moving. We call them they glide just like rollerblade wheels. So with the winters we get here, if you don't have bearings that are gliding or rollers that are gliding with bearings that are fully operational, you tend to see issues with your opener. Sometimes the opener thinks, oh, this door is really heavy, or I can't close the door because it feels like it's crushing something from those safety features on the opener. A lot of times we get there and we're finding these plastic rollers and we even have a hard time moving that door. Along with the friction and resistance will be a lot of noise, a lot of dragging noise, clicking noise, all taking a huge toll on the opener. And then again, you hear it inside your house. It's not beneficial to your opener, your investment, to have those style rollers on there. Yeah, I mean, that's one reason why we offer those precision bearing rollers to find more of a lifetime solution.
Absolutely. And it's funny because I'll talk to a customer. I remember I had one. He's like, I don't care how loud the door is. It doesn't matter. And I'm like, yeah, wait till I put them in and then tell me if you don't care. And he's like, yup, I will eat my own words. That is significantly quieter. And it's just kind of like people being nose blind. Like he didn't realize how loud it was until I took that sound away just by putting these new rollers on. It made such a big difference. I'd hardly say it's even an upgrade. It's more of just a standard repair, in all honesty. But we do offer that as something that really sets us apart. And we don't put in steel rollers. I haven't seen a good set of steel rollers at all ever since I've been in this industry. So putting in precision bearing nylon rollers is definitely something that's going to set us apart, but also set your door apart. I'll hear my neighbor's door open up, and I've offered him rollers before too, and it's just like I can tell him like it's just your rollers. Let's try to see if we can get this taken care of. But right now. That's something I'm still trying. I'm probably just gonna throw him in one day when he leaves the door.
I
Um,
think a common perception is to everyone a noisy door is a normal door,
yeah,
and it really isn't. If you have a really noisy door, there's something else underlying. It should not
mhm,
be very, very noisy.
absolutely. There's kind of two more things I wanted to bring up. The next big one being continued maintenance. And we offer a Rooster Club membership at a monthly subscription of 14.50. And a lot of people might not even think about regular maintenance for your door and what that entails at all. And is that something that people know how to deal with, how to diagnose, how to care for it, and B, do they have the time set aside to do it? I have met a lady that did actually have on her calendar when to actually lubricate her door. Go purchase a can of lubricant and lubricate the hinges and springs and the end bearings. And that was something that she had. But there's also other things that can be going on with the door that are normal with regular use, like the spring getting saggy and not lifting the same amount of tension that they needed before. I
Mhm.
mean, that Rooster Club membership, what are some other things that come with that Rooster Club membership that could help maintain the door and really bring value to your experience with a garage door as an upgrade?
Yeah, with the Rooster Club membership, essentially it includes a tune-up once a year for us to come out annually. A tune-up is more than just lubricating the door. It's also a full inspection of the door. But as far as tuning up the door, it also includes checking the balance of the door, which is extremely important for your opener. You should be able to lift your door with one hand. It should be able to float in the middle without wanting to drop to the ground or shoot to the top. Sometimes springs need some slight adjustments, and that's what those tune-ups and inspections are for.
Mhm.
And that's something you want to have done once a year, especially in Minnesota with our harsh winters. Um, do you want to remember to do it, or do you want us to remember to do it for you? With the Rooster Club, we remind you when that service is due. We come out, and as part of the membership cost is us coming out, you know, doing the full inspection and completing a full tune-up of the door itself. Along with the Rooster Club membership, aside from tune-ups, we offer waived dispatch inspection fees, and then we offer 5% discounts throughout your membership. So let's say something goes wrong wherever you are in the middle of your membership, however months in, as long as you're a member, you're going to get 5% off. So if a spring breaks, we're going to come out there. You're not going to be in charge an inspection or dispatch fee or anything like that. So it'll just be the cost of the repair. But on top of the cost of the repair will be a 5% discount because you never know what's going to come up. No one can predict everything. So this Rooster Club membership is very beneficial to most people who want someone else to do the remembering for them, if you will.
Sure. And a lot of times, if you just look at what needs to be done, like that your opener is coming to the end of its life, and Gator Rooster Clubs can be really great. And depending on what needs to be done, it will pay for itself pretty fast.
Hmm.
And so that's something that would definitely be a great benefit to a lot of people, add a lot of value to it as well. And we continue to grow as a company with Rise and Shine and try to offer more inside the garage door space. One other thing we're starting to offer to our customers is overhead shelving. And do you mind telling us a little bit more about that and why a garage door company would be interested in offering storage shelving in a garage?
Sure, yeah. So be ceiling shelving storage. One reason we want to offer that is because we want to kind of be that one-stop shop. Nobody wants to call, 5 different contractors for each trade.
Mhm.
Because for something like that, then you have to go find a handyman. If that's something our guys can do, we can take care of it all in, on one visit, and just be kind of more of that one-stop shop, to save time for the customer and whatnot.
For sure. I would even add to make sure, especially because a lot of people install these shelvings right above where the door comes up. So the doors comes up in that horizontal, or excuse me, that horizontal position, and then the shelves are right above it. A lot of times when people are putting them in, they don't know what kind of space is needed to service the door, to maintain the door if the springs ever break, or even putting those drums in weird spots that are going to get caught. If you have somebody that's coming in installing this, they're going to know how far they can push it. They're going to know how much clearance is going to be needed around the drums, around the end bearings, around the spring, and around the opener to allow all of that to be serviced appropriately. And then a lot of people also don't understand that when that door comes up into that horizontal position, the horizontal is not the top. The door comes up a little bit higher than that. And having that clearance is really, really important to make sure you're not going to damage the door or the shelving units that are above it. And so coming in with we want to own that garage door space, that garage space. And we can come in, we can be the experts, not only of the door, but everything around it too. And that's something that I think is really, really beneficial and why we're offering that. Just kind of talk about your time in the field. I know you're not in the field very much right now. But what are some of your favorite upgrades to see in people's homes that you would definitely suggest that people invest in to improve those functions of those doors?
I think most people like, as I've been saying, peace of mind. They want something quiet. They want something they don't want to have to maintain or worry about. I probably say the most common items would be the precision rollers we talked about, the Easy Glide, very quiet, maintenance free. One of the DC openers. Some people with the DC openers, DC motor openers, those have some other features on different models. I think the most beneficial one when I was in the field was ones that had battery backup built into the unit. A lot of people like that option. They don't know it exists. There's people who have power outages, and they can't get out of their garage. Or vice versa, they get home and there's a power outage. They can't even open their garage. And as I talked about, a lot of people use their doors, front doors. They don't even have keys to their front door. So their only way of access is that garage door. So that's a popular upgrade option. And then the high cycle springs, having that 10-year warranty because it is that front door. I find those three probably the most popular items that people are definitely the most satisfied with.
For sure. I have to completely concur with all of those. I do like when I'm out in the field and doing work, I love to install the stainless steel cables and powder coated bottom brackets, especially just here in Minnesota. Rust is everywhere, and it can make a big difference in how long that door is going to last and how well it's going to function for you too. That along with the rollers. I try to put rollers on every door that I see. They make a big difference, and they are going to be very beneficial to the customer, even if they don't realize it. It's kind of like I used to teach swimming lessons, and I don't know how many kids' lives I've saved just by already teaching them how to swim. And so that they already knew how to swim. So a situation on vacation or at the cabin, we never had to experience a negative situation from it because they already knew. And so that's kind of like they already knew how to swim. So this is kind of a similar thing where we're avoiding the cable snapping. We're avoiding the vertical rusting out from the bottom and the roller getting caught as it's trying to go up because we're already putting these better quality products in there. And so that's something that gets me really excited. Are there any situations where you did sell a job and you did install some of these upgrades that the customer was really excited about and just knew that they made a good quality investment after you completed the work?
I'm sorry, I lost you on the. I can see your mouth moving, but not no sound. I'm sorry.
Got it. We can maybe edit it in post.
Yeah.
But is there any sale that you had made or job that you had done out when you were out in the field that the upgraded products made an immediate difference in the quality of the door, and the customer knew that they made a good investment into their home?
Yes, definitely. I find, obviously, you had spoken about the rollers. When the customer first hears the door. I had the same reaction when I put in one of those DC motors. They can't believe something like that exists because, again, most people think a noisy door, that's normal, but it's really not. And then just seeing the black powder coated tracking, because it does match those safety sensor brackets and the safety sensors. Everything just has a nice sharp appearance. Aesthetically, everything looks great, but then they also know that we're backing those items up with our, either whether it's a 5-year, 10-year, or lifetime warranty, and they don't have to worry about it. And
Absolutely.
everybody loves peace of mind,
Mhm.
and and that's really what we try to offer
For sure.
as well.
No, I had a really great situation where we were there for a spring replacement, and I had noted he had a heated garage, and his seal was still looking good, but all the water had melted off their cars, and it would go right to the front of the garage, and just was rusting out the cables, bottom brackets, and vertical tracks. And those weren't broken per se, but they were covered in rust. And we were just there for the spring, and the customer looked at it, and I presented these options to him, and he's like, yeah, you know what? That actually makes a lot of sense. Let's get it done. And actually, can you do that on my other door too? I said, if I could, what would happen then? He's like, I'd probably get it done. So we ended up having these two matching doors that had the 10-year warranty springs, that had stainless steel cables, powder coated bottom brackets. They're big, beautiful wood overlay doors. And that was just one that I still think about a lot. It was a really fun job to work on. The customers were really great. I think they brought out cookies later on while we were working on it. And so those were what our experiences that I get really excited about. And I'm happy that we were able to find a good solution for that customer. But I think you and I have both been, our phones have been ringing off the hook while we've been recording this. So I think it's a good time for us to get out of here. But I just want to take a second and thank you very much for coming in and having this conversation.
Yeah, thank you, Logan.
Absolutely. Well, thank you very much. We'll talk to you later. Remember, we rule the roost.